switch of the players, which is really aids because they're not in the right order. Yeah, so let's take a look at the items here. So we got Cupid starting out with the Bluestone Transcendence, looking for that stacking early on, whereas on the side of Mr. Skull, red and blue team will be. On the red team side, we have Jingwei looking for the Death Toll boots. Going to be a little bit of a faster start, particularly when the power spike by finishing the boots early on. She's going to have a little bit of an advantage over the Cupid. Hopefully Cupid can get his stacks online quickly. Start that power spike. In the jungle, we have no surprises. The boost combos on both sides. We have Lona's Mask coming out from both supports. Pretty meta start as well. We have, interestingly, Logic and Bowman starting in the solo lane side. That's interesting. We have both supports starting in the mid. Although it looks like the Khepri is trying to be a little bit sneaky. Want him to know that he's there. Lots of fighting still going on over here. Got some good poke before the waves come out. And I'm expecting dual lane side. Oh, actually, I was going to say expecting the dual lane side to be pretty uneventful, but Cupid getting poked out pretty hard early on. That's going to be trouble for him. He really needs that early pressure, and he's not going to have it, it looks like, after that. So that goes over here. I'd expect the blue team to outclear here with the Bellona. It looks like that will be the case, and they're going to head right into the jungle to invade the buffs, I would assume. Actually, oh, they're looking to fight here, which might be the right call. They have both players at level 1. Bellona just got some huge bonus slam damage on the bludgeon there by hitting both players. Fortunately, they're now going to be looking at a 3v4 here, but all 4 are really low. This looks like it might be first blood on the Awilix. If that slam hits and it connects, that's the first blood for Bellona. That's going to be really big. Bellona really needs to get that early lead. Now we're looking at 3 low health targets here and 2 level 2s on the side of the blue team. They're going to be looking to go in here, but it looks like they just want to get those camps and get out. Looking to maybe invade this blue as well. This could be trouble for the Geb. If that Khepri has a pull, it doesn't look like he has it though, unfortunately, so they're going to get out. They do actually, they don't secure the blue buff. It gets sniped by the Vamana, so that's going to be really big for them. That's going to let the Vamana, I believe, level 2. Yeah, it does. So, except for Obelix, everybody else on Solar Priscilla is level 2 at this point. And we have Cupid actually a level ahead over in the dual lane. That's actually so Cupid is able to regain the pressure in the dual lane despite having that losing the poke battle early on. That's going to be good for him. He's going to look to start getting his camps, maybe look to secure those oracles by the Gold Fury as well. I'll give him on that, maybe get an early Gold Fury. In the mid lane, interestingly enough, the Zeus is getting out cleared, probably because the Khepri has far superior clear to the Geb, so that's going to be helping a lot. Also, the Zeus clear isn't always easy to confirm perfectly. On the right side, it looks like we're seeing a gank, and the Bellona is not quite going to secure that kill, although if her 3 comes off Clash, that's not going to be enough. That's going to be that. We have 3 players on the red team looking to secure the red buff over here. It looks like Bats is still sticking around here looking for that follow-up gank, but it doesn't look like they're going to get it. They sniff it out. It's fine. No wards on the map yet, so they're just going to have to rely on their intuition and know where everybody is. And now we got the taunting coming out. Pretty commonly used solo lane tactic, just trying to get in your opponent's head. A lot of people think it's funny, but then you even have at the top layers, you know, players like Baskin are known for it, and Mega just trying to get in their opponent's head any way they can. It's going to be no different here. This is actually going to be really big for the as Awilix being really behind and putting the Bellona really ahead is exactly what they need. They want the Bellona to be really big, like I was talking about earlier, and the Awilix to be behind. The Awilix is half of their sort of really early game pressure combo that they need. The Awilix and the Zeus, and it looks like she's going to be behind now, so she's going to have a hard time getting back into this game. Awilix from behind is commonly known as very difficult to play. Doesn't offer a lot. The main thing too that Awilix thrives when people are running away from her, when people have to back away from her. Really good at re-engaging on and countering people's escapes, and if you're behind, people aren't running away from you. It's gonna be tough for the Awilix, but looks like Thought's gonna go secure these back camps here. I'd expect that's the secure the speed buff as well, and it looks like Bellona is gonna be solo invading that blue buff if she does get it. For on the dual lane side, we have both backing, although Jingwei will get back first. And we have boss coming in. Quick match out. But it looks like actually the blue team is setting up for probably a gank into maybe looking to invade the buffs. I believe they don't have. I don't believe they have the timer on the blue buff because Vamana got that at the beginning. I don't remember if they got the speed buff or not. But if they do have the timer and the speed buff, then they should basically have the timer on both buffs, and they'll know that they're spawning soon, so maybe they're looking for a gank and the Vamana to open up those invades. Meanwhile, it looks like the Thoth is probably going to look to secure their own speed buff there, and I don't know if Humbats wants to stay up the map to stay in position for that those invades, or if he wants to go get his own buff. Got a pause coming out here. Bowman Seed probably going to give them a chance to talk things over, figure out what they want this game. Blue team is about 500 gold up right now, not a huge deal. They definitely have a slight lead, and they're looking to pressure this as much as they can. Just kind of bait cams, spam on it. Looking to builds, I mean, nothing really drastic. Yeah, we have the Bologna going into the Abbey, which is pretty standard right now. Expect to see a Mark of the Vanguard come out soon after that. Have Loth building into Sands and the Bumbas. I'm not personally a huge fan of the Bumbas on the mid laner, but because both junglers decided to start in the solo lane, it makes more sense here, and that's what I think you see both mid laners building the Bumbas, because they don't have the junglers necessarily with them all the time. To make use of that, you have the Bumbas as well on both junglers, obviously. You have Vamana building to the Bluestone on the boots, pretty standard, and nothing really too out there right now. You do see Geb with actually, so a little bit ahead of Kepri in the on his Lono's max stacks, but it's not going to be a huge max stacks pretty quickly. And no build developments really from the, or at least not from the QB. He's probably looks like he's just about to buy whatever he's getting. So we'll see if he decides to advance that Transcendence or go boots first and then Transcendence. Jingwei going into the Warrior tabbing, no surprises there. So this is going to be Jingwei's sort of first power spike that she needed to make press that advantage on the Cupid, especially if the Cupid decides to go into the Transcendence now, or I don't think he probably won't have enough gold. I would guess. Yeah, he won't have enough gold yet to completely finish the item. So if he decides, especially if he decides to keep building the Transcendence, then it is going to have a massive power advantage and movement speed advantage on him, and it's a great time for Jingwei to press that advantage. Try to get in. So we'll see how that goes. Notably, Wheelix is quite behind right now. It's just only death so far. Looks like we have PC on the blue team side now. Actually, I don't know what's going on, but we'll get that sorted out. But yeah, Wheelix is pretty far behind the rest of her team. Everybody else hitting level 5. She's only level 3. And then on the blue team side, everybody 5 except for the Humbats. But Humbats is level 4, and I would expect would hit level 5 pretty soon, given the early assist they got and just the farm advantage that the blue team got early on in the game. Probably the reason he's not 5 is because he spent a lot of time over in the soul lane looking at his ganks, probably losing out on a little bit of farm, but still splitting waves with the soul laner, so hopefully great. And hopefully the Thoth will connect soon. Graphs, that's it. So, yeah, so you do have a 600 experience bonus and a 500 gold difference right now, which, as to be expected, they're not huge, but it does make a difference, especially being this early on in the game. It's going to be pretty important. So we'll see how that develops, and looks like Thoth is still DC'd, and got another. Why it keeps on pausing. Oh, okay, that looks like the Thoth is back now. And they're going to be looking for the gank on the right side, and not going to get it. They're just going for the wave, and it looks like they're probably going to be setting up for these invades, I would assume. I'm guessing they do have the timer and the speed, as they're hanging out here and seem to know that the blue is spawning pretty soon, so they must have the timer and that speed. Wheelix is going to look to come around here and contest, it looks like. Another pause. I guess waiting for the Thoth to completely reconnect, because it does alert you that the player has reconnected before they're actually in the game. So, unless looks like they're just waiting for the Thoth to actually get ready. So yeah, expecting to see the Wheelix come up here and try to contest this. Probably gonna end up in a death for her. She's pretty far behind right now, especially with Humbats just hitting level 5 and having his ultimate available to him. That's gonna be tough for her to contest that. Actually, everybody has their ults available except for Wheelix and Thoth. Thoth having used his already, I would assume, and Wheelix, of course, not being 5 yet. So yeah, Wheelik's just going to go ahead and secure her own speed buff though. I'm kind of surprised that the blue team didn't look to invade that one as well. They have a big advantage um, over the red team right now, or not a big advantage, but it's a significant advantage that they might have been able to press and look to invade that buff, and so they're just going to go secure their own buffs and look to farm up a little bit more. I'd like to see the blue team start moving over towards the gold feeder to try to press their advantage here a little bit, maybe turn that into a gold lead or bait a fight out and get a couple more kills to press their lead more. They've been spending a lot of time over in the soul lane. It looks like they're going for the kill here. I don't think they're going to get it. There comes the Vamana ult out. So 1 for 1 in terms of ult so far, I believe. I don't think the Bologna used her ult. Actually, she did. So 2 for 1 on the ultimates there. And they didn't get the kill. Not a great trade. And we're going to see the Humbats losing out on even a little bit more farm, although he still is a level ahead of the Awilix, but Awilix does now have her ultimate. So we're going to see how that plays out. Cupid still pressing this lane over here as best he can. It looks like he went a little bit there. Got poked out a little bit. Take a look over here in the mid lane. The blue team to secure these mid camps. Felix looking to come over into the dual lane here, looking for a gank, but there's unfortunately not going to be available to him there. Maybe looking to invade these buffs instead. Really needs to focus on the farm right now. Just get back that department. And I'm expecting to see some sort of fight in the lane coming up here shortly. Probably when the Humbats ult comes back off cooldown. I wish show the timers for getting their ultimates. Just gonna have to guess for now. Humbats ult should be coming up in the next 30 seconds though or so. And that's probably when we'll see the next fight break out, I would imagine. There comes the Bologna though, so I was a little bit wrong. She's going to go in, but not much follow-up from the team. She's going to poke out the Zeus a little bit. Actually does a decent amount of damage. If the team had been in better position there, she might have been able to get that kill, but Awilix hits the big ult into the Zeus ult and the Geb ult, chaining the CC together. That's going to be a great ultimate from the Khepri to save his teammate, and the detonate just barely not enough damage to kill the Bologna, so that's going to be really close. Bologna gets out really lucky there. Great knocker from the Awilix, making herself useful despite being down a level. And yeah, good fight from both sides. Unfortunately for the blue team, they weren't in position to follow up on the Bologna damage. You had the Zeus quite low. And then on the right team side, if there had been just another tick of damage from the Zeus, any more damage, Bologna would have gone down. But unfortunately, she just managed to get out. With the help of the great ultimate from the Khepri. Not the hardest to time, obviously. Completely dope, but still well done. Looks like they're going to be look at the goal free now, which I was hoping they would do. They don't have the best ward coverage right now. You can see that the red team actually has probably better ward coverage on the goal free than the blue team does. They just have one on the top left side of the goal free. There are nothing on towards the mid lane, but nobody's here to contest. So they're just going to get that goal free for free. No clue from the red team at all. That's going to be unfortunate for them. I don't even know if they know that it happened yet, but we do now see the blue team with approximately a 2k gold lead. We'll take a look at the graphs. Okay, yeah, 1.7k gold lead and 15k experience lead. That's going to be a more sizable lead. Hopefully they can use that to further their advantage. Teams just securing their own buffs right now. Blue team doing a little bit better of a job of securing the neutral experience, although it looks like the red team might be able to snatch some mid camps away from them. Zeus having some of the best mid securing the camps, so they probably look to contest those pretty successfully. They're going to need to do that to really get back in the farm game. The neutral experience is really what swings, one of the things that swings the experience and gold leads back and forth. And so that great secure from the Zeus looking to control those red team's ways of getting back into this game. Selecting the builds, we have the Zeus building into the Dynasty Split Helm. No surprises there. To kind of going for that sort of hybrid tanky feel. So far it looks like he's doing that. It's also a very quick start, which is going to give him a nice early lead, early pressure being important. Dynasty Play is a great, cheap item, gives you that power, the penetration, and the protection, so great stats for a really cheap price of 1700 gold, so that's going to be great. Looks like Thoth going into probably the Gem of ISO, though it could be an Ethereal Staff. But, not really sure which one he's looking at there, but we'll see. Also, it looks like Cupid's in a little bit of trouble here. Jingwei chasing this kill pretty deep. Might be able to get it, but probably going to get rotated if she chases any farther. I think she recognizes that and starts to back out, although she's still looking for this invade on the purple buff. If the Khepri catches her here, this might be a turnaround kill. I don't know if Cupid has his ultimate available. That was the wrong graph, unfortunately. It actually looks like the Cupid's going to be in trouble here. Khepri ults himself by accident. That's unfortunate, but it looks like the Humbats is here. Hopefully he has his ultimate available. I don't recall it being used in the last fight. We'll see. That goes off. It looks like the Khepri's not going to be able to pick up the Jingwei, and this Thoth is going to be in a world of hurt when this detonate comes down, but not enough damage to kill him. Looks like Combat's going for the kill, but he's not going to be able to get it. Zeus starting to really do some damage. And all in all, the Jingwei gets away with it. Looks like a purple buff invade, although I'm not sure if she secured that buff or not. Let's take a look at the graphs now. Yeah, the experience difference went way down to essentially even. The gold difference a little bit less than it was before, about 400 gold left. So good job from the red team sort of closing that gap. We'll see how they continue this game. Looks like Amana's rotating in here with the Wheelix. They could actually get pinched here. It's a 4-on-2 at the moment, and that's going to be the Wheelix all coming out. The beads are used, but if he doesn't manage to get out, yeah, he's dead. So I think he used the beads. Yeah, he did in fact use the beads, and the Kepri goes down as well. So great job from the red team, catching those two out there, giving themselves a little bit more advantage. We're going to go back to the graphs, and the gold lead is it's just under 1k now, and the experience difference is negligible. So great job from the red team fighting from behind to look to try to get back in this. The Thoth does poke out the red team. It looks like they're probably not going to have enough health to sustain or to tank that portal demon anymore, and the Bologna might actually be looking to dive here. Like she's looking to chase here, but she's probably not going to find much. Her ultimate, the lead is down. The only ultimates up right now are Humbat's, Bologna. Actually, Bologna does have her ultimate. Thoth just came back up, and Vamana has his as well, so we'll see how that ends out. Bologna probably looking to invade this buff, but she doesn't want it to get caught by the Vamana. Might just look to get the small ones and run away, but it looks like she's going to try to do this herself. This is going to be kind of a toss-up who gets it, and it is secured by the Vamana, so that's unfortunate. But she might look to take this fight here. She's going to be in a difficult situation here if the Zeus shows up in time, but it looks like she's just going to poke him out. Misses the bludgeon, unfortunately. That's a lot of damage. And over on the right side, have a fight going down. Logic Tunnel gets a kill. I'm assuming he probably uses his ultimate, unfortunately. It's that. Yeah, that's going to be a good invade on the purple buff from them. They're going to secure these gold oracles too to give them vision on the Gold Fury and maybe look to get another one of those. The Gold Fury spawning again in about a minute. So that will be probably where the next major team fight happens around. What's up, Penster? How's it going, man? So we'll probably see that happening over there. Humbat's teleports in and does a lot of damage with his 2. That's going to be more potent than expected, although he does have a 2-level advantage over the Obelix still, despite that those picks that they got earlier. So that's just going to be doing a lot of damage. Kept rebuilding into it. Looks like the Gauntlet of Thieves, which is a slower start, but lead that the team has to make it away with it, although Kepri himself is a little bit behind. So we'll see how that pans out. And then on the Dev side, he's going to the Mark of the Vanguard, which is a much quicker start, and then building into the Gauntlet of Thieves after that. So Kepri does finish his Gauntlet of Thieves, so now he's going to have a little bit of an advantage over the Gebs. Probably a great time for the blue team to team fight, given those 20 physical and magical protections that are going to be around the team. It's going to be a great power spike for them. Let's take a look in the mid lane here. We got Humbat's hanging out in the wings, looking for a Lincoln and ult, but it looks like team's just going to disengage for now and secure their camp. We see Geb going in left, maybe looking to gank the Cupid. It looks like they're just going to look for the secure on this red buff. I imagine they probably look to contest this, although probably won't get the buff. Maybe look to fight the Zeus. His detonate is down. It looks like they're just going to concede that and look for the mid camp. Although they're looking to pinch him. The Cupid's not in the fight just yet. Gebbie looks to be caught out just a little bit. He's looking for the block, and there comes the Humbat's ult. Pretty big. He's going to hit 3 players. Jingwei uses her beads and ult to get out. And trying to get, and then we have the Zeus ult coming out to counter. Zeus in a little bit of trouble, but it looks like Humbat's out of mana is going to find himself in a little bit of trouble over here, trying to chase this kill. Meanwhile, on the solo side, it looks like Bologna's in some trouble as well. They're looking for the kill over here, and getting body blocked by those minions. Actually, I'd expect her to go down in just a second from this low range. She does. Meanwhile, over here, it looks like nobody took the spills just yet, and is just kind of hanging out for any opportunity. There's not going to be anything. So solid disengagement from both teams by the Gold Fury. You're going to see no deaths on either side. Unfortunately for the blue team, though, they were in a 4v3 fight and did not manage to pick up the kill, and as a result, the Bologna getting on the right side of the map did result in her dying. So that's going to get rid of Bologna's lead a little bit. Looks like they're round even. Let's go back to the graphs after that team fight, and we do see a gold difference still on the side of the blue by about 1,400 gold. 1,500 actually, and the experience difference actually slightly in favor of the red team by about 400. So pretty narrow. Actually, that just spiked to 1,100, back to 481. So I'm not just sure what just happened there, but pretty negligible experience difference. But the gold difference still in the favor of the blue team, despite down in kills and having a couple unfortunate fights. Looks like Bologna ulted in over here. Let's take a look at the ultimates. I'm not sure if she actually. Looks like she just did dash. Yeah, it looks like we have the Humbats in the mid lane here. The mid teams. split, and then get some pressure in this mid lane. Zeus by himself not going to be able to test that at all, but Jingwei does pick up the Goal Fury creeps, both of them, so they're going to have vision on the Goal Fury. That's going to be really important in allowing them to avoid having another Goal Fury snuck like the last one. The Cupid ult, not quite on the mark, but does force out the Jingwei ults. That's going to be basically what he wanted. Gives the combats an opportunity to gank the now and possibly actually pull out a kill. And it looks like Cupid's actually going in over here. Let's take a look at this. Although Jingwei, maybe wanting to chase after this, jumps into a Cupid who just healed up all his health. We're going to see how that pans out. But nobody on either team really in position to follow up on this and gank, so they're going to get out safely. Jingwei's going to secure a red buff, Cupid wave. Curious who this red buff is going to go to. Looks like we're going to give it to the Jingwei actually. To let her get some pressure in that way. So maybe she'll make some use of that. Meanwhile, Cupid over here getting ganked. Looks like they'll Wheelix, but nothing. That. Lona and Vamana sort of boxing over here on the right side. This looks like it could be ulting to kill one way or the other. And the Sunder comes out of the Vamana and the ultimate. That's going to be tough. Looks like he has the advantage right now, but Lona's looking to run away. Both ultimates should be down as they are, and it looks like this is advantage Vamana here, although it doesn't look like he's going to pick up the kill. And here come the... Well, both teams really looking to follow up on their both critically low solo laners. See how that is all the looking team, or at least the blue team retreat. The red team looking to rotate into the jungle, maybe pick up some invades or something here. We're going to fix here, rotating towards the mid lane. Maybe looking at the Thoth as an option here. Probably just gonna back off and get some camps. Looks like the Humbats is hoping that the Vamana will push up. Unfortunately, he does not knows that he's standing on top of, or not on top of, but right next to a ward. So Vamana does know that he's there. Good ward coverage from him, making sure that he knows when the ganks are coming. And Felix gonna invade this red buff. Looks like by herself, and probably get out as well. If that Panther comes off of. Not sure what he got out just fine, but it actually looks like she's looking to fight. Doesn't want to pick up the red buff, but just drop it for her team. Maybe they're gonna look to get the Zeus in here and pick that up. That's gonna be really big. Let's go take a look at the items here for a second. You see the Zeus building into the wing blade, so again, standard kind of hybrid defensive item that you see out of the Zeus, one of the popular Zeus items, gives them that attack speed that helps them stack the crits. Looks like Humbats gets blown up with the double ultimates from the Geb and the Zeus. The Geb ult setting up the Zeus ult to get a couple picks on there and getting the full stacks, which then obliterates him with the detonate. So red team really turning this around here after that unfortunate start, and it looks like you're going to head right to the Fire Giant, eventually, although the Portal Demon's already down. I don't imagine that they would actually do the real Fire Giant right now, so it looks like they're just going to go ahead and gank this Bellona and look for maybe some pressure on the right-hand side of the map. That's going to be the Bellona ult to get her out. And looks like they're going to be diving this. They have 5 members on this side of the map, with 2 rotating in to help out the Bellona, but if she's still alive by the time they get here, I would be surprised. Looks like they're also going to be taking out the tower. We actually have 3 members rotating in. The Bellona is still alive at the moment. If she gets out of this, that's going to be huge, although the Vamana does clean her up. Looks like the blue team's going to be rotating in here, seeing if they can pick up some kills with Thoth, but a pretty big ult onto the Wheelix, and Wheelix is going to go down here for sure. No way to get out of that. Cupid with the big ult as well, and the Humbats ulting on the backside. Looks like he's going to be in some trouble, though. Baits out the Zeus ult, though, really well. That's going to be huge if he gets out, but unfortunately he doesn't, so it's still going to be worth something. The Kepri looking to grab the Vamana here. The Vamana does dash out, and Thoth jumps in, stuns the Zeus. Zeus is going to be most likely dead here. He pops the Aegis, but doesn't look like he's going to get out. Wait, maybe? Oh, the Zeus the Kepri ticks are able to pick him up, so it's unfortunate for the Zeus that he did use his Aegis, didn't manage to get out, and the Thoth is not stopping yet. They want to secure this speed buff, although the Vamana does pick it up and gets out safely. So it looks like they might be looking to trade out the right side towers here, maybe pick that up to stave off some of the damage. We'll see if they manage to pick this up. Cupid taking a little bit of poke for his troubles, and it looks like the Cupid's going to end up dead here, but hopefully we'll pick up the tower. It does fall in exchange, but that's going to cost Cupid. So it looks like overall, after all that, we're going to take the graphs here, and the gold's still slightly in favor of blue team, surprisingly, but big experience difference on the side of the red team, so they're going to be hopefully looking to push that, as the gold difference is pretty negligible at the moment. Whereas the experience difference does make a difference. You have let's look at it. We have even pretty much across the board, except for the support is the only one that's ahead, really. So probably actually not going to be a huge deal. It's the experience difference is the support has a 2-level lead, so most of the experience level is going to this, or the experience difference is going to the support, which is not the character that can make the most use of that experience difference. Supports are traditionally used to playing from behind, don't really aren't really able to capitalize off a huge difference. So the experience difference, despite being almost 2K or actually 3.5K now, is not going to be as big of a deal as you might expect. Over on the backside of this red buff, though, it looks like the Zeus is looking to spin around here, grab this red buff, and then maybe pinch the. Here, Humbat says, "Oh, looking for the kill onto the Zeus," but the Zeus or onto the Geb. The Zeus ult comes out, Geb's able to peel for himself, and Zeus gets a ton of damage off. Big Bellona ult, stunning 2, zoning out the Zeus a little bit from the fight. It looks like a Sunder does come out. Bellona might fall here. Frenzy is popped, and that's gonna probably no. Bellona doesn't die just yet. Jingwei's going for it though, looking for the auto. She needs to hit one. She gets it. Cupid looking to turn this back around, and a big Geb shield saves his sight. If Cupid turns around, he might be able to pick up the Geb, and it looks like he does recognize that. But Jingwei's hitting pretty hard. He uses the Aegis to get out. Thoth does pick up a kill in the mid lane, and it looks like Geb and Jingwei are gonna get out just fine and pick up the Bellona for their trouble. So that's gonna be a piece of 2-for-1 back, and all ultimates used, of course. And the experience difference actually pretty much the same as well as the gold difference, so not much of an advantage either way on that fight. But it looks like Jingwei might be able to pick something up here on the Humbats. Humbat says fall, and looks like she's going for another one. Tries to get the Cupid. Oh, but Cupid gets the or the one to pop just before that last auto connect, so he's gonna be able to kill the Jingwei off just in time to save his own life, and that's gonna be pretty big. Still a 1-for-1 trade there, but losing the jungler for the ADC. Pretty even trade in general, so not going to be too big of a deal on either side. Both junglers a little bit behind at this point, but kind of even each other. So we do see the Humbats going into a Magi's Blessing here, probably looking to either counter the Gebal, just trying to not get locked down with that Gebal into this combo, as well as the Awilix knockup being a big deal. Although, actually, yeah, it's pretty much that. Although it is worthwhile noting that, actually, no, Bellona's on there, so she can. On the red team side, we have Wei about to come back into this fight, spawning in 5 seconds. It's real quick. Looks like Jingwei's going to be building into the third item Rage, into the looks like most likely the Deathbringer, pretty standard crit build right now, whereas Cupid's going to be looking for the more power penetration build with the Transcendence coming in line, as well as the Fatalis Kins, which is going to synergize really well with the bonus move speed that he gets on his 3, so he's going to be chasing down any and everybody that he wants to if there's not enough peel. Blue team does leech the Gold Fury, Thoth charging of his ult, but looks like he's not going to use it. And we're going to go Lonely here. Zeus ult comes out, doesn't hit too many, but he is able to chain the lightning off of the Bellona. And Bellona's probably going to go down here. No, she does get ulted, so she might be able to get out here. Looks like the Awilix is chasing. We're going to take a look over the mid lane here as Vulcan does ult. The Awilix does pick up the Bellona, so it's going to be a kill for them. So 1-for-0 so far, although the red team is pretty low, and it looks like the blue team wants to re-engage. There's the Bellona ult coming out. It's going to be a lot of burst onto the Humbats. Does manage to get away though, and Cupid picks up a double for that, so a great bait from the Humbats despite there being no ultimate from the Khepri, but unfortunately the Jingwei and the Zeus on the backside of the fight do pick up the goal for you. So you're going to see a 3-for-2 in favor of the red team, or in favor of the blue team, but the red team picks up the goal for you, so overall that fight's going to go in favor of the red team. We'll look over at the experience and goal difference now. Both solid in the red team's favor, the goal difference being 1.4k, which is pretty marginal at this point in the game. But still makes somewhat of a difference. What's about to change is it does go over and counter the gold free with a portal demon that's going to let them get a little bit of gold back, so now only 760, but there is a 4k experience difference roughly on the side of the red team. So still giving them a slight advantage, although that might change here as the blue team is going to be able to clear their buffs back to base and then get right back up and center the map using that portal demon. If I were the red team here, I'd probably be setting up, try and catch people coming out of this portal, but it looks like they're just not positioned right now as they have to back themselves. Taking a look at the builds here, we have both junglers going to pretty standard builds, looking for those power penetration items that Magi's coming out of the Humbats that we mentioned earlier. Supports as well going into the standard aura items that we see, and expecting those Lona's masks to get sold pretty soon. There goes both starter items for the Geb, actually 2 of 3 starter items. Mid tower does fall, so the team making good use of the low health that the red team had after that engagement with the Gold Fury and such by picking both the Portal Demon and the mid tower, probably evening out that engagement. So all in all, Lona in a little bit of trouble here, kind of, or rather than Vamana, I'd say a little bit of trouble. Take a look back here as both teams starting to group up. Blue team in a little better of a position right now as all 5 of the members are here. The stragglers and the team still getting a position. Zeus is looking to come around the backside here, although if he gets caught out of position, it looks like the Cupid sees this and gets a double ultimate here, looking to kill the Awilix, and Awilix is going to fall to the Heart Bomb. That's one early pick, and it looks like the Zeus is going to burn both of his actives, trying to get away from that Combats all and forces out the Zeus ult as well. So this looks like this fight is going to be going in favor of the blue team for sure. The good peel from the Geb saves the life of the Zeus, and it looks like they might actually be looking to turn this around here. The Mana in the backline doing some damage, but a lot of damage coming out to him as well, and he's going to go down as well. That gives Cupid a double kill unofficially, but there was 2 for the Cupid in that fight, and it looks like this is going to turn into some invades, and they're going straight for the Fire Giant. Geb looking like he's going to want to back, but the red team actually recognizing what's going on, and it looks like the Jingwei is going to be flying in from the base to hopefully get here in time to contest this. No real zoning going on just yet, so the Jingwei does have an opportunity to run in here and steal this, and it looks like they're not even going to try to zone her. Okay, they do finally figure out that she's there, and it looks like this is going to be, oh, she does get by, and the blue team is able to secure it, but that was close. That was some sketchy zoning from the blue team, giving the Jingwei an opportunity to get in there and contest that Fire Giant like that, but they are able to pick that up and get the Jingwei. So, not the cleanest Fire Giant, but they do get what they came for, and got a little bit lucky, but it worked out. Looks like they're going to be looking to group up and push this right side here as well. Maybe not, maybe they're just going to back and regroup their Fire Giant. That is going to last for 5 minutes, so they're going to have some time to collect their thoughts and figure out where exactly they want to pressure this advantage. So yeah, it looked like the red team was really starting to swing the momentum, but then a couple big team fights, and really I think it was the objective play coming out of the blue team after they lost that goal theory, and capitalizing off of the fact that all of the red team was really low after committing so hard to that fight and getting the goal theory that they all had to back, and they immediately turned that into a portal demon and a mid tower. It really kind of counteracted the gold and bonus that the red team got from the goal theory. Actually probably gave them an advantage, plus they got 1 extra kill in the fight, so really doing a good job of taking that loss and turning it into a win and capitalizing off of that in the next team fight, turning into a Fire Giant. So really swing the momentum into the favor of the gold team, or the blue team rather. I don't know where I got gold team from. The blue team really doing a good job of turning that around after it looks like they were starting to lose some of that early game momentum. And now we see the blue team looking to pressure this left side. Nobody really in position to contest except the Jingwei, but by yourself she's not going to be able to get much done. I have no idea what that ultimate was. Looking to kill the Jingwei, but it was not even close. Luckily enough though, they did manage to get the tower. The Cupid ult's going to come out, but Jingwei recognizes it and ults out as well, so she's going to be just fine. The Zeus or the Thoth rather, misses the ultimate onto the Zeus. I'm not really sure why the ultimate came out there. It wasn't really in danger of dying, but almost kills a Thoth, though. Wheelix hits a big pull over the wall, though. Thoth is going to be in a lot of trouble here, and he is able to dash out, though, and never mind, as Wheelix is able to chase him down. But for his troubles, they get a mid tower, so it's going to be one kill on, or I guess just 1 kill for the red team, but the mid tower goes down for the blue team. It's a decent trade for the blue team, especially if they manage to turn this into yet another tower on the right side of the map. The Wheelix does pick up the Bologna, who was a bit out of position all the way over on the left side, but again, if it's for a tier 2 tower, it's going to be pretty worth. And so we do see all 6 towers falling now for the red team, and the blue team in position to wait out these death timers and then group up and start pushing down the Phoenixes if that's what they choose to do. It looks like the red team's going to be grouping up though over on the gold Fury to try and turn this around a little bit, get themselves some gold back. Take a look at the graphs real quick, and the gold and XP difference spiked towards the blue team with them regaining both leads, including the largest gold difference that I think we've seen today, up to 6k so far, which makes sense as they just dropped 3 towers and a Fire Giant. The blue team does, or the red team does manage to get the gold free though, which brings that back down to 4k, which is a more manageable lead. Let's take a look at the build so far. Looks like everybody's pretty much getting towards their full builds. The blue team just about getting to the point where they're selling their starter items and finishing off their 6 items. And the red team there as well, although the a little bit behind. You see the Soul Laner only working on his 5th item right now, and the Zeus not yet having sold the starter item. Probably looking for, I would guess another damage item, but maybe looking at another defense item depending on, I mean, he's been staying alive pretty well so far, so he might be looking to get some more damage and carry these team fights. Meanwhile though, on the mid lane, looks like we're going to see some split push shenanigans over here as they're just going to run up and take this Phoenix. Nobody really in position to contest except the Jingwei. The Humbats all comes out, does hit its mark that time, just as a zoning ultimate, so great job from the Humbats to keep the Jingwei out of that fight. So they can get the mid Phoenix that's going to have some pressure in this lane, and they're going to be heading right over to the Zeus to pinch him. Zeus ult comes out, but the Cupid might actually meet some trouble here. He's got 3 stacks on him. Not enough damage to kill him though. The Geb shield does come out to buy the Zeus a little bit of time, but not enough for him to live, unfortunately. And it looks like blue team is in full control here. They are all low, but the Thoth does an insane amount of damage out of his one, hitting all 3 ticks onto the Jingwei. And the Humbats goes as well. This looks like this might be game. They have 1 Phoenix down in the mid lane, and they do have some fire minions running up the lane as well, so they might be able to just tank this Titan and end it right here. And it looks like that's what they're going to try to do. They're going in for the win. If Awilix goes in big here, she might be able to pick up a couple kills and save this, but she's going to have to do it now. She can't wait around for the right opportunity, because pretty soon the right opportunity is going to be gone. And it looks like she does go in, doesn't manage to find it though, and it's not even going to matter if she gets the kills, because this game is over. Blue team takes it as they kill the Titan.
That's what counts.
Asking about yourself is hard. I am out of breath. Someone